Okay, you guys, welcome to our team call tonight. I'm so excited to have you guys all here. And so let's see. Today, I wanted to do this call on the way you show up in your business is everything. And so, first of all, I want to do a couple little reminders. So, November 6th through the 10th is the Little Bit Obsessed sneak peek. I'm super excited about that for the 80-day obsession. So, make sure that you have that down on your workout calendar to just be doing it and showing all about it. And then there's 11 days left in October. Go find 3 people to help. That's 3 to 5 is your minimum. Just go help people. And then if you guys are shooting for diamond to get the diamond bonus by the end of the year, November 22nd needs to be on your goal board for diamond. So November 22nd, you've got to hit diamond and you have to hold it through the end of the year. And then you get a $250 bonus. So awesome. And so that should be everybody's goal. I mean, even if you're kind of new, that is totally doable for anybody if you just have it as your goal, you focus on it, you know exactly how many people you need to bring in, and you just make it happen. So November 22nd. Okay, so today, so I love having team calls on Thursdays because for some reason, every Thursday, I spend the entire day just filling my brain with personal development. Like, it is like my whole day. I clean my house, I do all of these things, and I just plug my headphones in and I listen to things that to get me in the right frame of mind. And so it's kind of like a reboot day for me. But so I hope for what I have to say today is it hits you guys as hard as it hit me today, because it seemed like everything I listened today was along these same lines of you. You are everything for your business. The way you show up is everything for your business. Whether you show up in a good way or a bad way, the way you show up will determine what happens in your business. So we hear all the time, like, what you think about, you bring about. It is so, so true. And I'm going to kind of relay some personal experience because I have been where my business is just booming. I'm hitting all my goals. I'm like going above and beyond and just super excited and things are going awesome. And then I will be in points of my business where I'm kind of in a funk. Things aren't moving. And honestly, I can relate it all back to my frame of mind. Exactly what I'm thinking about, what I'm focusing on is bringing about the things in my business. So I have tons of notes, so I hope I'm not all over the place. But so if you show up positive, excited, if you show up with goals and you know what you're going for, then those things are going to happen. But if you show up and you're just like, oh, none of my coaches are hitting Success Club. I got another email that another coach cancellation, and that is like filling your brain. You are going to attract more of that. You're going to attract more coaches that don't show up. You're going to attract more coaches that quit. But if you are focused on like what you're going to do and what you want to create in this business and the kind of people that you want to bring into your life, then those people will start coming into your business. But another thing that really hit me hard today when I was listening to things, it was talking about how so many people sit and say, like, I really struggle attracting business building coaches. And how the heck can I attract business building coaches? And it comes down to you need to look inside of yourself. And like really everything in your business. If you're struggling anywhere, you can look inside yourself and say, okay, am I the strongest? I need to be in that area of my business. And so are you attracting business building coaches? Well, if you're not, are you being the business building coach that you want to attract into your business? Are you showing up every single day, excited to be here, sharing your journey, having a transformation? And are you inviting and doing all the vital behaviors and adding people to your business? Because if not, you attract who you are in the moment. So that's what's so cool about Beachbody and this business is our business grows because we grow. We cannot grow beyond who we are at the moment. So that's why we read personal development. We spend so much time like growing us on the inside and the outside, because if we don't, we stay right where we are, or we attract the people exactly like we are. And I don't know about you guys, but over the last 3 years, I've grown so much, but I still have so much to grow. And I think about like when I first started, if I wasn't doing personal development and I wasn't growing, would I want to attract those people that I was when I first started as a coach? Not really, because I was kind of like super stayed to myself, quiet, not outgoing. I would never have wanted to get on a team call and talk about anything, or I would have never known what to say. Or, you know, I was more of just kind of quiet, depressed, nervous person. I was a whole different person. And a lot of people from the outside would have never known that, but I was. And so over the last 3 years, I've grown a ton. I've done a ton of personal development. But as I look at myself as a leader, like I still have so much I want to do. I still have so far I want to grow. And the only way to do that is to keep investing, keep pouring into yourself. And so I think sometimes we like to like look at our team and we go, oh, like, why is nobody doing anything? Or why can I not just get a rock star coach? And the thing is it's because we need to look inside of ourselves. We need to start with us. So we need to start with our own transformation. That is everything, you guys. Like, if you start with you and then you start signing up all these people and you forget about why you started this business in the first place, and you forget about the transformation that you're wanting to have, then you're not going to keep growing, and you're not going to keep inspiring and showing people that they can do it too. So you have to stay in phase one. You have to stay in your own transformation, working on yourself, making sure you're doing all the things, making sure that you're doing the vital behaviors, making sure that you're adding friends, you're doing your personal development, you're pushing play every single day, you're drinking your shake, you're eating the right foods, because who is going to want to just follow your lead when you're saying something but doing the opposite? And you guys, okay, I have some confessions to make. In the last little while, my business has been totally frozen, or actually moving backwards. And I have really realized, like, oh my gosh, I'm back to eating things I should not be eating. I am back to, like, I push play every day, but I'm falling back into old bad habits that I do not want to fall back into my life. I am like keeping my mind on, instead of focusing on what I can do better. Did I freeze? Oh, I'm back. Instead of focusing on what I can do better, I've been focusing on what everybody else is not doing. And so today, like, I just had all of these aha moments of, oh my gosh, it's me. It's me. that I need to focus on. It's me that I need to grow. It's me that I need to really dive into my own transformation again. I need to dive into doing the vital behaviors and being amazing at it. Because if I want my coaches to show up and do all of these things that we need to do to be amazing coaches, then I have to start with me. It's not going to start with anybody else. Okay, let's see. And this, I love this too. So they were talking about how you need to find your own aha moments that will keep you motivated, keep you moving in the right direction, because a lot of people tend to wait around and want other people to motivate them. And that's not going to happen. Like you're going to get in funks. You're going to have up and downs in this business. And when you get in the downs, you have to know how to pull your own self out of these downs. Because one thing I have learned in this business is I think when you start, you think, okay, like I have my coach that's motivating me and doing these things. Well, my coach quit and she went to another company, so you have to know, like, yeah, you have all these people, but you never know who's going to stick it out. You never know who's going to be here for the long haul. And you have to be here and know how to motivate yourself, know how to pull yourself out of the crap, and know how to keep going even on the bad days. Because if you were to own like a restaurant or a coffee shop and you woke up one day and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in a funk, I'm just gonna not open my shop today. Like that does not happen. So you have to know how to pull yourself out of it. Like figure out some little steps that you can take every single day that when you start feeling that way, you can just get yourself out of it. And one thing for me that I've learned is when I'm in a funk, the thing that pulls me out of it the fastest is to take action. The longer that I wait to take action, the longer that I stay in the funk, I don't invite, I don't add people, I don't reach out to people, the harder it is to get out of it and the harder it is to start those things back up again. So it's just got to be a daily thing, you guys. You got to, even on the hard days, you got to look at your business as a restaurant that cannot just be shut down because you don't feel like it that day. You have to know that you have to show up for all the people who are watching you, for your own business, because the second, especially because we're on social media, the second you don't show up for a day, you're starting all over. You're having to build back up all of the things that you have built up before. So learn to self-motivate, learn what you can do to pull yourself out of those funks, and just keep moving forward. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. And then I love this. If being who you are would get you what you want, you would already have it. And so I loved that because it's like, hello, yeah, we have to grow. If we want something great, we've got to become greater. We can't just be us, be okay with who we are, and not keep striving for greatness. If we want to be 15-star teams, if we want to be elite coaches, if we want to make a humongous impact on the world, we have to become great ourselves. And then, yeah, if you want something greater, you have to become something greater. And then let's see. Okay. So one thing is, when you wake up every day, you guys, affirmations are huge. And I can always tell a difference when I went through a while where I would do them every morning, and I would start my day off with my goals and my affirmations and what I was striving for. And then when I stopped doing those things, then hello, my business started going backward and staying stuck, and I was in a funk. And so what I love about it is, if you don't start your day with those affirmations and your goals and your vision of where you're going, then what creeps into your brain? All of the things that aren't going the way that you want them to. So then you keep attracting more of that. So you have to start your day out with all of the amazing things like, oh my gosh, I am attracting the most amazing women to my team, and we are going places. We are inspiring the world. We are changing lives. If you start your day with that instead of, like, why are my challengers not showing up? Why is my team like going nowhere? I feel like I'm starting all over, then things will be so much different. Our minds create so much, and I think sometimes we aren't even really realizing how much our minds are impacting our businesses. Okay, another thing that I really loved is she's talking about, you don't really think about this. I didn't really think about this, but she's talking about even in your workouts, how important it is to not just do a simple, easy workout because you can and because you're working out, you push play and you got through it and now you can move on. And she was talking about like how she could totally tell that her business really took off when she started doing super hard workouts that really challenged her, that made her push harder than she'd ever pushed before. And it was because it not only pushes your body and makes you get amazing results, but your mind has to go so far to get you through that she's like, I grew so much in my mindset because I was doing these harder workouts that I didn't believe I could do in the first place. And I wasn't only just like getting through the workout. She's like, I wouldn't stop. Like, I just made myself push till I thought I was going to throw up. And, sometimes I find myself just kind of getting through the moves, or like I'm doing my Insta stories, and so I push like record on like a move and I'm doing it, and then my Insta story stops and I go like at it and I miss part of my workout, and I'm like, I'm actually thinking I'm gonna stop doing like Insta story workout moves because I need to be 100% in my workout. And when I just record it, like if I want to post my workout later, then I can just push record. I don't have to keep going over every 15 seconds and like doing something with my video, but I need to be 100% focused on the trainer and the workout and what I'm there for, because I think sometimes I get so caught up in just like posting that I did my workout instead of doing it for me, doing it for my transformation, doing it for my mindset. So that is one thing too that we need to really realize, like, Beachbody is amazing for so many things. Like, we don't have to go pay all this money. Like, if we were to open a restaurant and we had to buy all these dishes and all the food and all, like, that's for the restaurant. What's so cool about our business is everything is just to make us a better person. Like, our workouts are making us a better person. Investing in personal development and in like mentors to help us with our mindsets, to help us with our businesses. Every single thing that we pay money for in this business makes us a better person. Going to events, going to seminars or whatever we do, it's because we need to grow as a person so our business can grow. So I love that, because it's, we could be in a different business where we have to buy all the product, we have to spend all this money mailing it out, we have to do all these things, and Beachbody, we don't. The only thing we invest in is ourselves, and then we just get to love on other people. Okay. Okay, and then she said, you can't up your impact or your paycheck If you don't start with you and fully commit, jump all the way in. And I think sometimes we may have one foot in, one foot out, haven't 100% decided, like, this is where we're going. This is what we're going to create. We're not going anywhere, you know? And I think sometimes, like, when we're just like, oh, what do I want to do? We're not fully committed to this. So it's really hard to grow and move forward and do the things that we need to do if we don't just jump all the way in. So it starts with us. It starts with that commitment of deciding, like, you know what? This is where I am. This is what I want to create. This is what I want my team to look like. This is how many people I want to impact in the next year. Like, we need to know, like, why we're here and what we're doing, and stop having one foot in, one foot out, and just go for it. And then she talked about, like, just how important our mindsets are in investing in mentors or personal development. And she said one way, you need to always do a self-check. And if maybe you're asked to speak on a team call, or asked to speak at a Super Saturday, or you go to post something in your team page and you don't know what to say, or you're stressed out because you don't know what you'd say on a team call, or something like that, she's like, that tells you right then and there. Like, if you don't have something, like if someone were to say, can you hop on my team call in 10 minutes? And you're like, I don't even know what I'd say. Then that means you need to invest a little bit more in yourself and do more personal development. And then it just talked about how you need to hold your own feet in front of the fire before you hold your coach's feet in front of the fire. And I loved that, because it is so easy to look around, but when it all comes down to it, we are the leaders of our own teams, and we just need to lead by example. And if we are 100% committed, and we are 100% showing up every single day and doing all of the things that we know we're supposed to do, then our coaches will catch on and do it too. And she talked about a lot of people, I'm kind of guilty of this, but she talked about, where did I write that? Are you a perpetual learner, or do you actually apply it and take action? And I think a lot of times, like, I know the answers, and I watch a lot of trainings, and I know what I need to do. But I think sometimes that's what we do. We like listen, and we learn all these things, and we know all the things. And if anyone were to ask us questions, or if we were supposed to do a team call on it or something, we'd know what to say. But are we actually applying and taking our own advice, taking the advice of all of the training that we've done? Or do we just know it all, but we're keeping it all inside, you know? And that's the question to ask yourself too. Like, am I actually applying everything I know to do? And then one last thing, and she just talked about how important it is to keep it so simple, keep it so basic for like our teams and our new coaches that are getting started, because really you just need to stay in phase one, need to invite like crazy, and your invites need to be in proportion to where you want to go. So a lot of times, like, she's like, a lot of times people say, like, invite 3 to 5 people a day. And she's like, if you want to do that, then you can have a really good, like, part-time side business, you know? But if you have big goals, if you have big dreams, your invites need to be in proportion to what your goals and dreams are. And so inviting 2 to 5 people every day, if you want to be like a 15-star diamond and have a rock star huge team, that probably won't get you there. And then, let's see. Oh, and then she said, just tell your coaches, your new coaches, all they need to do is get results, talk about it. Get results, talk about it. Get results, talk about it. And show up every stinking day make friends, and invite them. That's all that you need to do to really grow your business. And if we get focusing on like new trainings or creating awesome, pictures or graphics or things like that, like that's not what's going to move our business forward. We have the training. We're on a top team. We have all the stuff that we need. All that we need to do is get results, start with us, get results, share about it, get results, share about it, invite, talk to people. And it says, no matter where you are now, just look forward, move forward, and quit looking backward. Simply focus forward and commit today. So, you guys, I had like this I have been in the weirdest, like, stuck mode. And after today, after like refueling my brain, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've just got to like get my vision out in front of me and quit focusing on things that, I can't control. Focus on you, start with you, do all the things that you're supposed to do. You're going to find rock star coaches. You're going to build an amazing team, and they're going to do what you do. So anyone else have anything that you want to say? Oh my heck, you guys.
I will.
Oh, thanks.
I always have something to say. Always. Okay, so I wrote a bunch of things down, but I think one of the big things is like doing you first. When you like fully go into doing you with everything, so if you're really following your nutrition and you're really reading whatever personal development book you need to read and you're really committed to a workout, your posts are so easy. Like that makes social media and posting so easy. That makes you have so much to talk about because you're fully engaged in all those things. And so that's like 3 posts a day right there. What you're eating throughout the day, your workout, and your personal development, your mindset. And so then it's really easy to weave those extra things of your life in, your family and things like that. So I'm a huge believer in that. I think for me, that's the easiest part of the business is doing those 3 things really consistently. And going program to program. So right now I'm doing P90X3, which is weird. So I've never done any of them. Today was like 30 minutes of literally push-ups and pull-ups. That's it. 30 minutes, push-ups and pull-ups. It's called The Challenge. I don't know if I had to push play had I known it was 30 minutes of push-ups and pull-ups, but I did it. I'm extremely sore, but I did it. But I think that's the beauty of just pushing play on a new program. We have so many. And I know when one comes out, we all want to do it and we all want to show it. And I think that's awesome. But then it's also in these downtimes in between, going back and showing other programs that we have, because then that really shows Beachbody on Demand when you do that. And it gives you new things to talk about. Because if it was up to me, I'd do Core to Force every day because it's my favorite. And a little yoga in between and a little body base. And I'd be totally fine. But that doesn't help me grow at all. It doesn't get me uncomfortable. I'm really comfortable with Core to Force. Like really, really comfortable. So I don't get uncomfortable in that program. Today I was really uncomfortable. And I think you said that, like you grow when you're uncomfortable. So last night Isabella was at volleyball and she's an underhand server and she can rock an underhand serve. She's like the most consistent server on their team. It's easy for her. It's easy for her to do it, gets it over every time. Well, last night she had never tried an overhand serve and she turns around and she's like tears in her eyes. She's so frustrated because it's something new. And I was like, that's growth. Welcome. Welcome to being uncomfortable and growing. And what happens in that is you become empowered. So it's kind of like when you were talking about, like when you take action, you feel empowered. So when you take the action, like if I'm in a funk, I do the same thing you do. I put my earbuds in and I listen to personal development, and then I try to have a conversation with someone, which I found easiest on Instagram, but I just find someone to talk to. Because I think when you're feeling like no one's listening and no one's responding and no one's getting back to you, and then all of a sudden you have somebody who responds to you, you're like, oh, there's someone's out there to talk to me. Even if they're not going to buy a challenge pack, you just get that someone is listening and someone you can have a conversation about health and wellness or something else that interests you. So that's another thing for me that gets me like completely out of a funk. But back to when you're pushing play on a different program, is I feel like as coaches, and for me, it's my job to show people that this works. That's like my number one thing. So you're proving it to yourself that it works, and then you're showing other people that it works. Despite my schedule, despite what I'm traveling, despite what's going on in my life, I still make it work. If I can make this doable, anyone can find the time. And that's the beauty of what we show people. And I think what that shows people, and once we can get them in and get them in a challenge group, it gives them hope. And I know for everyone on this call, it's changed your life. So a lot of times you have to remember that, like, this changed your life. So if you go back, or if I go back to where I was 3 years ago, I wasn't this person. Like Katie said, she wasn't the person on the team call. She would have made her uncomfortable, like all these things. So sometimes I think when we get in this funk, and I think we're kind of all in it or near it or have been around it lately, you have to remember who you were and where you were then and how much you've grown since then. But the problem sometimes is for me, is I'm very self-aware. So I know I own my weaknesses, and I know what they are, and I know what I need to do to dive into that. So it's also that piece too, and thinking, okay, so if you look at your business, like, what is it? Because as a new coach, I think when you start, like you said, you do the vitals, you show up for you invite, you post on your page, and what happens? People start asking you what you're doing and where'd you get your results. And then when you're in the phase, we're all later in the phase, right? We're all like in a different place in this, and we've evolved through the journey. So then you're figuring out, okay, so what's next for us, which sometimes is different for a new coach. If you're onboarding a new coach, it's much easier because you're just doing those things. You have a big warm market. When you've been in it 3 years, you've got to keep doing those vital behaviors to keep growing that market to make it warm. Because I think those people, it takes 6 months for them watching you do P90X, do Core de Force, do Shift Shop, when they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to join now because you've shown up for this long. So I think that piece of inviting all the time and adding all the time, it never pays off right away. You know, those seeds are planted, but they show up so much later. And that's where most people, even like Isabella last night, she wanted to stop serving overhand. She's like, I don't want to do this because it was hard. But it takes time. And just like it takes time for your business to grow, or it takes time for, you know, people to build that warm relationship or to watch you long enough to go into it. So, which is why it matters to show up every day, even when we're not seeing the results. And that's the same with fitness. You don't see the results right away. And so I think that that's so important, and being aware of that, being aware that it's going to come, having faith that it's going to come, and having the belief. You have to have the belief. And I think sometimes I get in my own head too, and I'm like, feel like I'm doing a lot. No, I'm not doing that much. I know I'm not doing that much. And I know that I could do more. So like you said, if you know, what you do will be the business you grow. That is what it is. And we all have peaks and valleys. And I know for my own team and where we're at, I mean, you guys know, they've all kind of left. I mean, my team's kind of went, which is totally like redefined my purpose too. Like it's actually motivated me more to have my team go. It's kind of, you know, I mean, it's life. I'm doing the overhand serve right now. That's me. I'm doing the overhand serve. I got uncomfortable. I got really comfortable. I looked back, I see my post from a year ago, and all the people that had Success Club points, I was underhand serving like crazy. It was good. It was easy. It was flowing. And then I kind of stopped doing everything because everything just was happening. And then everything kind of fell apart. So now you regroup and you move on. But, you know, and I always remind myself with this teaching too is, and it's kind of hard, it kind of sounds harsh, but everyone's replaceable. Like your team will grow again. I think it's hard as coaches. It was hard for me when Cassandra left, was really hard. I mean, there were a lot of tears over that because I had talked to her every day. So it was such like a strong bond and relationship that was really like a breakup. It was like it was kind of over. And she was going through such a hard time personally that she didn't want like the Beachbody thing. And I was like, it was weird. It was awkward. It was weird. It sucked. And then Taryn followed. And then it was like, okay, the two people I talked to pretty much every single day, it just left. But they'll be back. There's another Cassandra out there. There's another Taryn out there who might have the vision to stay longer. But the thing I love, and I'll end with this because I can talk forever, is it's really interesting for me to see people who chose to go to the other company. I'll just say that. Because what I'm seeing in all their posts is how thrilled they are that they don't have to work with people. And it bothers me so much because I like working with people. I'm a Beachbody coach because I want to start someone's journey on day 1 with them, and I want to really cheer them on day 90. And I have people who've been in my customers or business for 3 years, and I've got to see them evolve too. My favorite part about the business is the relationship piece of the business. So I just find it fascinating that every person who's in this new business is talking about how it's so awesome not to run challenge groups. Really? Like that's the relationship. That's where you change someone's life. You do not change someone's life by going, here you go. That doesn't change someone's life. The challenge pack didn't change my life. It was the group, the accountability. It's the people that I've met along the way. It's you guys that have changed my life. It was not T25 had a part, Shakeology had a part, but it has been the journey of evolving as a person, and no drink or anything could have done that. It's the whole package. And that's what we have to tell people. It's not just Shakeology. It is not just the workout. It is the community and those things together. It's like, I always tell parents at conferences, like I'm one of the legs of the stool, but you all got to do your part too. Like I can only do one part. And I think we're the same way. Like all these pieces kind of hold everything up. And when you can get a challenger to do the workout, eat well, drink the Shakeology, and participate in the group, that's when the magic happens. And so we have to lead the way by doing that. And when we're really doing that, it is so easy to share it. It's so, so easy to share it. I think that's all I have.
Anybody else have anything? I have one more thing to say about that. So I heard this thing today about like some people develop leaders and some people develop paychecks. And it kind of made me realize, and it said, but the ones who develop leaders will be around way longer than the ones who are just trying to develop paychecks. And that other business is developing paychecks. Like that's all it really is. And so it's so funny because she was talking about how like when her first paycheck came, she was looking, well, I think it was a little bit into the business, but she's like, I was like a retail seller. I could sell, like I was a top seller of our team for like ever. And she's like, but then when I looked at my income, it was only a small percentage that I was getting from my retail, and the rest was all coming from my team. And she's like, and that's when I realized how powerful it is to have a team under you and to develop leaders and to bring on people and like really have that family bond, And so it made me laugh because it's so true. Like that's what's so powerful about this whole company, but that's exactly what they left for, is to get away from the team and all of the people that they have to help in challenge group. This is so weird. But yeah.
It's so weird. It's so weird. Because it really saying publicly, I don't want to help people. I just want to sell you something. Like I'm so thrilled that I don't have to do this every day, and I don't have to have conversations every day with people. I'm like, that's the beauty of this business. I just find it fascinating because I was like, that's so interesting that what isn't appealing to them is what's most appealing to me.
Yeah.
The relationships and the people.
And they're marketing to Beachbody coaches who are burned out of running challenge groups. Like that's their whole thing. They're trying to get Beachbody coaches who aren't lifers, who aren't happy to stay here forever and help people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's exactly who their posts are pointed to. And another thing, like when you were talking about how it was like the whole package that has changed your life, not just the shake and I was listening to a call from Micah today, and she was talking about that same thing, how she's like, within 4 days of getting my challengers in a challenge group, I'm talking to them about coaching, because she's like, anybody who's a challenger might show up month after month for maybe 3 months, and then they're gone. Like, she's like, I don't know about you guys, but it's the whole personal development, the family of your team, the everything else that has kept me here for so long. And so the magic really happens in the coaching opportunity. It's like, she's like, you cannot hold that back from people. You have to reach out. She's like, I cannot tell you how many challengers I've reached out to in the first week. And I'm like, have you ever thought of being a coach? Because you are rocking this. You would be amazing. It's just that next step of accountability that you could have to really like blow this up, And she's like, and most of them say, oh my gosh, I didn't ever think of that. Or they're like, I thought about it, but I didn't really know how to go about it. And she's like, so if you're not reaching out to every single one of your challengers, especially in the first 1 to 2 weeks when they're loving it and so excited about it, you are missing the whole boat. She's like, my whole team has come from my challenge group the first week of their challenge, because that's when they're excited. That's when they're loving it. And that's when they can jump right into coaching and like take off because they're on fire about what they're doing. And I'm like, that's what I used to do when I first started. I was so good at like just getting them into a challenge group, talking to them all like within a few days about the coaching opportunity. And now I've totally dropped the ball and just like I think I've kind of expected them to just, I want to do what you're doing, because I'm like, they should see my posts and they should see, but no, like we have to be like the ones to reach out and say, oh my gosh, like, because it's so true. Nobody's really going to stay in this for the long haul unless you're a coach. Like this is the ultimate, like it's the whole mindset thing that keeps you here. So.
Yep.
Anyone else? Aim? Cal?
Okay, along with what you just said about that, my mind just went blank. I had a thought, and now I'm like, okay, wait a minute, where did it go? But no, for inviting people, it's like they see your posts, they see you talk about coaching all the time, but it's like if you're inviting people, if you had a party and you just like, if you're not talking to them specifically and like inviting them saying, hey, I want you to come to my party, like nobody's going to come to your party if you don't invite them like personally. So, and I would put something, can you hear me?
You're cutting all out. I can't hear you very good.
Oh.
And you're like frozen.
Dang it. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you better, but you're still frozen. Now I can't hear anything.
Oh. Okay. I have horrible service in my house.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're.
Okay, so oh, dang it. Okay, I might have to type it.
Okay.
No, okay.
Aim, you have anything to
Are
say?
you frozen too?
Yeah. So for me, like definitely I think the last few months have just been weird. Like there's no other way to like describe it. It's like it has just been weird. Weird things have been going on, whether it's on our teams or like personal lives. Like it has just been a trial. And, and I think some of the things that you were saying, Katie, kind of made an impact on me in that, I find myself, am I going full out of my workout? No, because I have to keep recording and I have to keep hitting record on my Insta story. Or, that I have been thinking a lot about that. Like, oh, am I more focused on the way that I can present it versus just presenting it real and raw. And I actually went back and looked at some of my posts, and some of the best ones are when I would be videoing my workout and you would see me like, you want me to do what? And it was because I was so in the workout that you were getting the real me and what was really happening in that workout versus a 15-second Insta story where I know dang well that I'm putting it on Instagram and you get a whole different feel. And, I think we each have so much to give of ourselves and we're each so unique, and we need to just do our journey and whatever that may be. And if it's Instagram, if it's like pages, whatever, I think I've gotten so oh my gosh, I should be doing this and this and this and this. But then I kind of get frozen and not do anything because I think of all the things that I should be. And I've really been thinking even this last week, I'm I just need to go back to doing me and focusing on my journey, sharing it authentically and real and raw, and just enjoying the process. And I think that is the biggest thing, is enjoying the growth, enjoying the pain, and getting past that, and moving yourself past that and sharing from a very vulnerable place how hard that is, because that's what people, they don't want to see us always pretending that everything is fantastic, because it's not. It's not. Some of the things Shar, you've really inspired me. Some of the things you've been sharing in the last few weeks, it's no, this sucks. This sucks. But I'm pushing through that, and I'm still showing up, and I'm still doing this. And, so I think that is the thing too. A lot of people feel like they have to put on this face of oh, I love getting up and I love, getting my butt kicked. Do you know what? There are some of the programs I don't like, but you do it anyway. And you kind of have to, I don't love eating healthy, and I'm working on that. And I don't love fighting my kids and trying to get my kids to eat healthy, but we're working on that, aren't we, Katie? My kids cried this morning when I brought home all wheat bread. They cried. So, it's hard. It's hard. But, I think too, we need to be better about leaning on each other and sharing with each other, because we tend to be ugh, they're rocking it, they're not having problems. No, we all need to help and support each other, and we're good. We got this. We're amazing.
Okie dokie. Thank you guys all so much for hopping on. And I almost forgot it was team call night. My kids are off for fall break, and I've just been doing my thing. And all of a sudden I'm oh my gosh, I've got to figure out a team call. So thank you guys for always hopping on and always being there and inspiring me to just keep going even on the hard days. And I don't know what I'd do without any one of you. So thank y'all. And I will see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.